We're good. All right, here we go. We are Brian Ingles, co-host of DaddyBall, here with Tom
Bogart,
I am
co-host.
co-host. I am live here in Amelia Island in Florida. Tom, where you at?
I am in North Myrtle Beach, typical New Yorker vacation.
Perfect. So we got a few things to talk about. We had our episode 1 air on Wednesday. We're just going to give a recap quick. We had Coach Steve Strife on, which I thought went amazing. Strife's a really he's a character, and I know sometimes we didn't see all of it on camera, but very knowledgeable coach, knowledgeable guy, huge character. And I thought it went good. We filmed it a little while ago, and got a huge response. I hope that everybody got some information out of it based on his experience coaching and his experience, coaching his girls now. So, Tom, what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a great opening first episode. Everybody in our area, if you're an athlete, whether you went to Proctor or other school districts, who Coach Strife is.
Yeah.
He had a lot, and for him to have the experience he had as both as a player and a coach and 3 daughters.
Yeah.
God bless him. Wealth of knowledge in that man.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was good. I'm glad we got him on here. I've gotten a chance to play against him when he was a coach. I've gotten a chance to play with him in fast pitch, and I get a chance to coach with him. Just an awesome episode. I'm glad we got him on. Great way to kick off. And listen, we learned a lot too. You know what I mean? As much as you're around people, you still get to learn. So if anybody who has not watched it yet wants to be entertained and wants to see, what we're talking about, go to YouTube, watch it. It's episode 1 of the DaddyBall podcast. Go back in there and watch it and look at some of our other stuff. So we've got our pizza brackets going on, and like we talked about earlier, we're on vacation, but I still had to have pizza down here in Florida. Nothing like New York pizza, but we're down to our final 4. So tell us about what's going on. There's been a lot of chatter about it, a lot of opinions, but what do we got going on for our final 4 with our pizza bracket?
I can't believe how much engagement we have received from the final 4. When we put out the Sweet 16, we had great interactions, and then when we got to the Elite 8, we even had more reactions.
Yep.
So, Brian, what did I ask you last night? Late, about 7-8 o'clock at night. What did I ask you into the final 4? What was the question I asked you?
So you asked me about how many people do you think voted on this so far? So I'm thinking in my head, my immediate thought was like couple hundred, right? But
you said 5. You said 500.
But that was my immediate thought. But I'm like, he's asking me because it's probably more than I think. So I'm like, all right, 500, and it wasn't 500. What were like last night at about 9 o'clock? What were we at? Almost 2,000 votes.
At last night, when you said 500, I said times it by 4.
Yeah.
And we were at 1936, 1937. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Since we're live, I'm going to go look right now and see exactly what we are up to.
Where was all this response when we were looking for nominees? Everybody's throwing all their opinions out now. And now everybody's like, wait, whatever. We might have to do this again. We might have to do this again.
We're going to do it again, and we're going to do it with something different.
We're going to have to do something
different. Ready?
Ready?
2,908.
Get the hell out of here.
2,908 responses.
Listen, so
if you think I'm making that number up, I got better things to do.
Yeah, no shit. So we have 2,900 people voting of their favorite pizza place, and there's still a bunch of people who think certain places got gypped, right? So listen.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna. Well, no. You know what, Brian? I think I know where you were going. So go where you were going.
No. So my thing is, there's so many good pizzas. Like we talked about in our initial pizza thing. My question was, hey, should we go 32? Should we go 64? And you and George were like 16. Well, dude, I'm really thinking we should have went with 64 because there were some really good places that weren't even in our top 16, and it's overwhelming right now. So we're gonna have to system and really start this again, maybe in the fall, maybe next winter, but we're gonna have to do this again for sure.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm going to add on to it is that so if you've seen if and I'm talking to our audience, if you've seen what our Final Four is, honestly, you can't be that surprised. If you live in our area, who's ever who's in the Final Four, and especially who was in our Elite Eight, and I guess I just want to clarify a couple things because we had the question pop up a lot on Facebook about why other pizzerias were not even on the Sweet 16. And like I said, you know what, we kind of threw this out, in the dark, and we kind of didn't, we could have given a little bit more forewarning, I guess, but like I say, lesson learned. But basically what we did is that when our Sweet 16 that we started off with, we asked everybody to comment and make a vote. And we had obviously the favorites: Oskanits, Joe's, Big J's, Tony's, whatever. They made it.
Yeah.
And the other ones, if they got one or two votes or nominations, we put them in there. So we initially had 33. Initially we had 33 nominees when we closed the nomination package. And throughout this entire voting process, some people have been commenting and saying, why is this pizzeria not on here? And why is that pizzeria not on here? And I totally get it. Like I said before in one of our previous videos, there's not really a bad pizzeria in our area.
And these weren't our choices. We didn't personally pick the 16.
Exactly. Exactly. I just want to let everybody to know, because I bet you there's a ton of people out there right now that are like, this was rigged, and I'm just like, and I get it. We can all be skeptical like that. We're all the same.
You're gonna have to pay double for pizza or not pay at all. So we gotta.
So I mean, listen, the voting was 100% up to you guys. Period. We had nothing to do with it whatsoever. And why I'm telling you all this is because if you look at our Final Four right now, you got Oskanits versus Big J's and Venice versus Joe's.
Yeah.
I will tell you something right now, Brian. I've been telling you last night, and I told you this morning. What did I tell you was the not kind of an upset, but what was the weirdest thing about one of the matchups?
How close it was.
How close it was.
How close there was one where I thought would have been just a
no-brainer,
and it's extremely close. So that's surprising.
Well, I'll tell you this now. So now, since it's been a few hours later since we talked this morning, and I looked at it again, the tables have turned.
Get out of here.
And I swear to God, it is turned. So, guys, we're not going to tell you exactly which matchup we're talking about here. If you really think about it, I think you can figure it out. But we're not going to come out and say exactly who it is.
Yeah.
But one of the matchups that we had, as of this morning, there was a 2.5% gap.
And last night it was like 15%, wasn't it?
And last night it was at 15%. Okay. And the underdog, in my opinion, in that matchup was ahead by 15%. And as of this morning, they were only up by 2.5%. And as of us going live right now, they are, hold on, let me double check it again. Let me see here.
Using those tactics from the November thing we had going.
Yeah. They are now 8% ahead.
Jeez. I can't use certain words on here, but I think there's some shady stuff going on, with some rigging. Maybe we'll see.
I don't, listen, I tried to make this again, guys. I'm using Google Forms to make this. Facebook took away the poll option, so there's really no other way for me to.
No, I think it's super easy. And listen, you can go and vote as much as you want too.
Yep, you can.
If you have time on your hands, you really want to see something win.
Yep. And just and you know, and then for the other people with the technical, know how of Google Forms, I turned off the can only do one vote option, because if I turned it on, that required you to put your email in, and that required for some cases required you to sign in with your Gmail account. And I didn't want nothing to do with that. I mean, we're not going to be spamming people or collecting email addresses. We're not doing anything like that. So that's why I turned all those functions off. So, but with that, guys, we need you to vote, and we Brian and I have been going back and forth on whether we end it tonight, whether we end it after 24 hours. What we went back and forth, and basically what we came up with is we're going to tell you at the end of the episode. Brian, on to the next part.
All right. So we've got MLB season just started, right? So we're DaddyBall podcast, doing a lot of baseball, softball stuff, amongst other things. But I figured that we could do some MLB predictions. What do you think? Should we do some?
Yeah. Let's go.
I've thought about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I think are going to take the division crowns, and then take some of the wild card spots. And I'm going to go all the way through and have my predictions for the World Series. And I'm going to give you a few just kind of bold predictions for the season. Couple of Yankee predictions, couple of outside Yankee predictions. Some of you may love it. I hope I'm right. But some of you may think I'm just a complete idiot. So what I'm going to say is, I'm a Yankees fan. I'm going to try to stay unbiased. But I got for the AL East crown, right? I got the Toronto Blue Jays winning the AL East, right? They're good. They're young. They're tough. Oh, there she is. But I've got the Blue Jays winning the East. AL Central, I've got the White Sox. They romped up on everybody last year. I think they're going to do it again. AL West was tough, but as much as I hate them, I'm going to choose Houston to win the AL West. For the wild card spots, I've got two other East teams making. I got the Yankees making it in, the Rays making it in. No, the Red Sox are not making it in. Not doing it. I got Seattle taking the final third spot. I think the Mariners are going to have a good year. For the to represent the AL in the World Series, I'm going with the Yankees. All right, they're not going to the division, but they're going to go through it as a wild card. I'm a Yankees fan. But I'm trying to be realistic at this time. The NL East, I got the Mets actually, but I can't believe I even said that. But I think that it's going to be their year. I got the Cardinals winning the Central. A lot of veteran presence on the team that are going to get them in. NL West, I got San Diego Padres. They're good. They're young. They had a breakthrough year last year. The wild cards, I've got the Dodgers, the Cubs, and I've got the Miami Marlins making it in. All right. That's one of my bold predictions, is the Marlins making the playoffs. Representing the World Series, I think it's another bold prediction, the Cardinals. I think the Yachty, Pujols are all gonna push them up and get into the World Series, but I got them losing to the Yankees in Game 7. All right, so Yankees are going to end their streak. They're going to win the World Series. And, they're just going to get it done. I like the way their teams are built right now. But again, it's all predicated on injuries. So if we get a couple key injuries, I think we're screwed. But I'm planning on if everybody stays healthy. All right. So I do have a couple of bold predictions, and one of them already said Yankees are going to win the World Series. Another bold prediction is the Orioles have the worst record in baseball. I don't know who it's going to be, but Orioles are not going to have the worst record in baseball. I think that's pretty bold of me to say. Here's a Yankee prediction. I've got Luis Severino is going to return to the top 10 in Cy Young voting. He's going to be a big reason why they go and win the World Series, is Luis Severino. Here's one that all of you are going to call me an idiot on. But between Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, Donaldson, and Gallo, between the five of them, they're going to have 175 home runs. Okay? And for quick math, this averages 35 apiece. Between the five of them. You're looking at me like I'm stupid.
Listen, as a fellow Yankee fan, I would absolutely love for that to happen, considering that Stanton's already on his way, and Rizzo too.
Yeah.
But
And I wrote these down before the season started, so.
Yeah, so if they get 175, Brian, you and I are just going to go to a game, and we're just going to stream the game.
I got two more. I think Pujols is going to get to 700. He's 21 away. But with the DH in the National League, I think he's going to get a ton of at-bats. I think he's going to get to 700 before he retires. And the last one, here's a really bold one. Brett Gardner is going to return to the Yankees at some point this season. All right. But I think in order for that to happen, either Judge or Stanton or Gallo or somebody in the Yankee outfield is going to have to get hurt. So in order for that one to get true, I'm probably going to lose that home run prediction. So
you are.
We'll see what happens.
Listen, if Brett came back, first of all, a little fun fact about Brett Gardner and myself, we share the same birthday, and he's 2 years younger than I am.
Yeah.
So little fun fact about Brett.
Right.
If Brett came back, I loved Brett. I loved when he was on. I know the last couple of years he was on, he was struggling, and kind of getting to that age, where where MLB players decide to hang him up. But hey. I love the predictions, Brian. I didn't come up with all that and everything and stuff like
we'll
that.
See
like
it. We'll see. I hope I'm right.
I think those are awesome predictions, and I hope you wrote those down and you remember them, because at the end of the season,
I'm gonna keep them.
We're gonna review them.
Right. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna put this on here that I wrote them down, and everybody calls me an idiot. I got them here. All right.
That's funny.
And if I'm wrong, they're going in the garbage.
So they're going in the garbage. So that's great.
All right.
No.
So what do we got coming up next, Tom?
So next episode, Daddy Ball podcast, coming this Wednesday, April 13th at 6 p.m. We are going to stay on a weekly Wednesday, 6 o'clock schedule. Okay. We have Dr. David Kingwater from Kingwater Chiropractic that will be on our podcast Wednesday, 6 p.m. What a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, everybody should watch this one. And I don't even care if you're a parent of an athlete, young kids, old kids, whatever. The story that he tells us about his own personal career of being an athlete, which is I never even knew of some of the things that was going on. It's
absolutely amazing. It's
absolutely amazing.
It's something you could actually make a movie out of. I mean, I didn't know it until recently either, because he's not that type of guy that just, pours everything out. He's just, he comes into the facility. He's like a dad with another guy with 3 daughters. It's just so crazy the route that he took to get to the top of his profession, that it's mind-boggling, and it's something so rare. But what an engaging guest we had. We could have sat there for another couple of hours, I think, and chatted
easily. We could have sat with him. We listen. That episode is going to be pushing a little over an hour, and I'll tell you, we could have gone another 2.
100%.
If we all had the time, we could have gone
100%.
2 more hours with him. We just had a great time speaking with Dave.
Yep.
And I said, if you know who Dave Kingwater is, if you're a patient of his, or you know him personally, or you know who he is just in general, you need to watch this coming episode. You do. It's
very informative, and I can't wait to watch it myself. I mean, we were sitting there, but I can't wait to watch it and then pick up on things that we didn't pick up before. So awesome.
Exactly.
Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Wednesday, 6 o'clock. So with that, I gave you guys a little tidbit. I'm sorry, Brian. We gave you a little tidbit about the pizza. Okay. So Final Four is going to end Wednesday morning.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Morning, you have to vote for it.
10 o'clock a.m. 10 o'clock Wednesday, April 13th, Wednesday, 10 a.m. The voting for the Elite Four will be shut off.
The Elite Four or the Final Four?
The Final Four. Sorry, not the Elite Eight.
On vacation, go have another drink. You're all good.
That's fine. Hey, listen. After the last couple of weeks I've had, I'm drinking. It's what it is. Everybody see it? I'm drinking.
Perfect.
Final Four, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Voting is done.
Awesome. Go watch episode 1, Coach Strife, and then go watch on Wednesday, Dr. Dave Kingwater. You'll enjoy it. It'll be a crack of a time.
Brian, where's Mini Me?
Harper, where are you at?
I want to show Tommy. I want to show everybody Mini Me's and
She wanted to be on so bad.
Where's my
Here
family?
she's coming. Still in her bathing suit. She couldn't get out of the water today.
Oh, we spent good 4 or 5 hours in the pool today.
Get over here, Harper.
Yep, I got
There
it.
we go. Get in here. Not right. No, you got to right on next to me. That's okay. Right here. She doesn't want to get on because she's got a bathing suit on.
Oh, here, hold on. I got.
There she is.
There she is.
Now you got everybody in there.
Now everybody's in there. So Brian, go ahead and introduce Harp again if they haven't.
So we got Harper here, my 6-year-old daughter. Again, we're down on vacation here, but she's my little hockey and softball stud, and she's a dancer. So who do you got over there, Tom?
And listen, everybody, if you've been watching our channel, Harper and Tommy, we've already had on a short.
Yep.
We already had them on a short down at the Blue Sox Academy. So go watch that. This is where we introduced T3 and Harp. Right here, I have my lovely Addison Rose. Addison is a dancer and an acro student. And then my beautiful wife, Amanda.
How we doing?
DaddyBall, Mommy Ball, everything. Okay, this is the point of this podcast: is what we do with our families and how we coach them and make them better in life. And our children too.
We got it. Harper, who's going to win the World Series? Tell me, who's going to win? Yeah, say it.
Yankees.
That's
right.
He's got it.
That's right. That's right. All right, everybody. I'm Tom.
What's that?
I'm Tom, co-host DaddyBall.
I am Brian. We will see you on Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
6 p.m. Wednesday. Don't miss it. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Yeah.